Okay, so now let's look at a problem. Let's find the rate of change of y with respect to x given that y equals 4 is square root x ln 2x. So in this question here, what you are required to do is to find dy by dx. The rate of change of y with respect to x is dy by dx. So then we are going to use the product rule. So what we are going to do, we are going to let u equals 4x power half. This is the u, and then v will be equal to ln 2x. So now, according to the product rule, I know that dy by dx equal u dv by dx plus v du by dx. So what is du by dx here? It's going to be equal to 4 into half. I bring this here, and then x, I minus 1 here, minus half. Then what is dv by dx? dv by dx becomes the differentiation of this 2x, which is 2, over the 2x, which is 1 over x. So now I can write it dy by dx. First, v du by dx, or u dv by dx. So I'm going to take this here, or over 2 x power minus half times 1 over x. This is u. This is the u here, or x power half u times dv by dx plus v times du by dx, which is 2 times x power minus half. Now I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to get, you see, there's an x power half here and x here. So it means that I'm going to bring this down, and I simplify it. I'm going to get 4 over square root of x. Then I'm going to open a bracket, which this brings it here to 1, and then plus, I'm going to put half here so that I'm going to add a 2 here, and this goes down, which is already here, and this is ln 2x. Okay, you can try this. Simplify it, and you will get this answer. Now, another example. Find dg by dt if g equals dq cos of vt and then ln t. How are we going to do this? Same like before. We are going to use product rule. Now, we are going to have here, you can see that we are having three functions here involving t. tq, cos, and then ln. So first of all, we say let u equal t cube cos of t, and when v equals ln t. So now we are going to focus with this here. This is also another product rule. So what we are going to have here is du by dt. This is what we are going to use a product rule now. It's going to be equal to dq u dv by dx. When I differentiate cos of 3t, I'm going to have minus sine 3 sine of 3t plus cos of 3t v times du by dt. This is 3t squared. And what is dv by dt? dv by dt is simply the derivative of t, which is 1 over t itself. So hence, dg by dt becomes, so we are going to merge all these now. We are going to have t squared cos of dt plus 3t squared ln t cos of 3t minus t sine of 3t. And then simplify. You can also try this as a homework. This gives you t squared cos of 3t That's it. So you can try this, simplify it, and you will get the answer. Now let's look at how are we going to differentiate a quotient. Differentiation of a quotient. And this will give me the quotient rule of differentiation. We have a rule here of differentiation called the quotient rule of differentiation. So if y equal u over v, where u and v are functions of x, then using quotient rule, we have dy by dx equal v du by dx minus u dv by dx over v squared. So this gives me the quotient rule. This is what we call the quotient rule of differentiation. Example, if y equals 4 sine 5x over 5x power 3. Find dy by dx. So then what do? We use the quotient rule. I take this as u, this one as v, then dy by dx becomes v. This is the v, du by dx. So I'm going to differentiate this now. So this one will become 5 times 4, 20, cos of 5x. So this is v du by dx minus u. U is 4 sine 5x dv by dx. This becomes 15x squared. And then do not forget to divide it by v squared, where v squared is this. 5 to the square becomes 25. This 1 to the square becomes x power 6. So we can simplify this. This one becomes 100. 5 times 20, x cubed cos of 5x minus 15 times 4, 60 x squared sine of 5x over 25 power 6. You can further simplify this also by taking x squared outside and so on. So you can try this also, further simplify. Okay. Now let's look at this differentiation of a quotient. Find dp by ds if p equals tan bs. Now we already know that tan of bs become sine of bs over cos of bs, where b is a constant. So then we are going to use quotient rule of differentiation. So dp by ds, I'm going to take this as u, this one as v. So this one will become v du by dx. This is the v. Du by dx, I'm going to multiply it by cos of bs. This is v du by ds. So I'm going to have b, which I'm going to bring it in the front. V du by ds minus u dv by ds. This becomes minus p sine of ds over v squared, which is cos square ds. Now, after further simplification, you will see that dp by ds will be equal to b sec square bs. Or I can write it as b over cos square bs. Okay, so you can prove this now if you want. Go through all the steps, simplify, and make sure that you arrive at this solution. We can also find the derivative of y equals ax. So dy by dx is found using quotient rule. I know that sec of ax is 1 over cos of ax. So I'm going to take this one as u, this one as z. So then you can prove that dy by dx using the quotient rule will be equal to a sec ax tan of ax. This is also as a classwork. You can work through this. So there are many other type of questions that we can have involving the quotient rule. Now let's look at the chain rule of differentiation. Chain rule of differentiation. So the rule states that if y is a function of x, then dy by dx is dy by du times du by dx. To better understand, let's have a simple example. If I tell you y equal 2x minus 1 power 7, use a substitution like u equal 2x minus 1. Then what happens? Y become, if u equal 2x minus 1, you put it here, y become u power 7. Hence, what happens to dy by du? Dy by du, you bring the 7 here, 7 u power 6. And what happens to du by dx? Du by dx, u equal 2x minus 1, so du by dx becomes 2. Hence, using chain rule, dy by dx equal dy by du, which is 7u power 6, multiplied by 2, du by dx, and this becomes 14u power 6. And now you substitute the u back, you are going to have it as 14 2x minus 1 power 6. So this is the rule of the chain rule. In fact, you can have also another way of working this out. You just have to, I'm going to show you this here. Y equal 2x minus 1 power 7. You can directly use direct in differentiation instead of going through the chain rule. So y equals to x minus 1 power 7. What you have to do, you bring the 7 here. Then you have 2x minus 1, 7 minus 1. And then you have to multiply the differentiation of this inside the variables inside the bracket. So 2x minus 1, the derivative of this becomes 2. So this makes it 14, 2x minus 1 power 6, which is the same as this one. You get it exactly the same. Okay, now let's say find dg by dt if g equals 4 cos of 6x cubed plus 2. So let u equal 6x cubed plus 2. So y becomes 4 cos of u. What will be dy by du? Which is minus 4 sine of u. And what becomes du by dx here? Because u equals this, so this becomes 18x squared. Then you use the chain rule. So dg let us write this as t here, dg by dx because g becomes all this. So dg by dx is this is g here, dg by du times du by dx. dg by du minus 4 sine u times 18x squared. And this becomes minus 72x squared sine of u and minus 72x squared sine of u was equal to 6x cubed plus 2. So this is also another way of, another example of the differentiation here. So this is the type of differentiation, but where we use the chain rule. One last question. Find the differential coefficient of y equals square root 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. So again, here we are going to use a substitution. Let u becomes 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. What becomes du by dx? 6x plus 4. When v becomes y equal y becomes square root of u, which becomes u power half. What is dy by du? This becomes, I bring the half in the front, 1 over 2 square root u. Then you use the chain rule, dy by dx becomes dy by du, 1 over 2 square root of u, where u is 3x squared plus 4x minus 1, multiplied by du by dx, it is 6x plus 4. You can further simplify this because you can take 2 outside. This becomes 3x plus 2, and this 2 outside is going to cancel with 2 in the denominator, leaving the answer as follows. Now you can also try this. Find dy by dt if y becomes 4 tan cube by t. So how are you going to work this out? Same thing. Let u become tan of 5t. So du by dt. Differentiation of tan is sec squared. So this is going to be 5 sec squared of 5t. And then y becomes 5 4 u cubed. So dy by du becomes 12u squared. So use chain rule, dy by dt equals dy by du is 12u squared multiplied by du by dt, 5 sec squared 5t. You already have it as here, so it's going to be 12 times square 5t times 5 sec square 5t, and this will become 60 times square 5t sec square 5t. Okay.